What's going on YouTube? It's Pelfrey. This is the Reefer 250. I know I've discussed this previously, but I do have some rock in the sump area and I'm wanting to add just a little more rock to the tank. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do this. I mean, I know how I'm going to do this. I'm going to take the rock that's in the sump and I'm going to put it in the display and I'm going to rearrange it a little bit. That's how I'm going to do it. But I don't know what the end result is going to be. So I really like the pedestal rock, which that's what this is. Thanks, Emma, for that. Copyright strike coming for me. I really like the pedestal rock, but I just want some more rock in here. So what I plan to do is I plan to try to knock the base off of this piece right here. And I'm not going to cement any of them together or anything. So I'm just going to take the pedestal rock out, take it out back. I got a 3-pound sledgehammer and some screwdrivers, and I'm just going to try to pry it off there and without breaking as much of it as possible. Now, with that said, I will probably shatter the whole rock in the whole process of that, and that's a risk that I'm fixing to take. So I do have water made. I'm basically going to do like an 8-gallon water change. I'm going to do it from the display so that the water's lower and just a little bit easier to work with. I do have some gloves here to work with, some buckets and stuff on standby. Just waiting for the children to get tired enough to take a nap before I go into this endeavor. And at the moment, they're not tired, so we're just going to hang out for a little bit. Let the salt water that I got mixing just mix up a little bit more. And then we're going to get to changing the scape. Don't you love it when a plan comes together? So I basically took the flathead, just went around the perimeter, and I was lucky. It popped right out, and I can actually use that in the tank still. Now look at this. Look at these sponges on the bottom of this rock. You know, it's a good sign. So it's cold out here. Here's the top of the rock. I'm going to get this back in the bucket, get it back in the house. This is a concept that I've come up with. Now I do have another piece of rock that I've got to put into the sump, and it may work, it may not. I do still have what was used as the base on the pedestal rock in here in the bucket, but basically you can see I added this white piece here to create a little cave there. That's a new piece, that's a new piece. This piece I just kind of set up. And, you know, catch-22, one of the issues with the pedestal piece is it's kind of hard to mount. So I've got it in there as good as I can get it anyway. I need to move some of this stuff around, but I kind of like the way that it kind of, the slope that I've got going on here. So I'm gonna move the corals around the way that I feel like they need to be moved around. Some of them I'll actually be able to get out of the flow a little bit. But here's a top-down shot real quick. The radions are on 100% everything, so that's why the fans are on. So it's a top-down shot real quick. And I'm pretty happy. I just threw it together, and definitely aquascaping a tank is not anything I've ever been good at. So I'm gonna put new water in it, get some circulation going through the tank to kind of get all this to settle down, keep an eye on it, and you know, we'll see how we go from there. Now, I did pull out a bunch of shells that were dead, and before I put water in here, man, they stunk. They stunk bad. But these things have good coral out algae on them. I may just put them in the sump. I'm not really sure. I may just throw them away. But I know I talked about that before, and I was 50-50 because it's more of a natural thing, but you know, that's just the cycle that it's going to go through. So I'm going to try to get some sand turned over a little bit and get it cleaned up and go from there. An hour later, we've done an 8-gallon water change. We've Re-Scaped the tank. We put another piece of rock that I had in the garage in the sump. This is, again, a piece of reef cleaner rock. And I've done some cable management. So if you remember from before, the bracket for the Tunze 3155 controller, was 3D printed at work. Then I got the 6055 left pump, 6055 right pump, and at some point I am going to master and slave these units, running the DCP 4000 at basically 90%. So I've tried to do the best that I can with wire management, and I actually need to pick up a new battery for the UPS. So this pump is running on the smart Wi-Fi. This pump is running off of this. This is running off of always on, and this is running on the smart pump. The heater is always on. Let's see, what else? I don't remember. I do not remember. I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 outlets running this whole tank. 9, I'm sorry, 9 because of the 2 radions, but they're plugged in directly over here because they're controlled by the Reeflink, which is upstairs. So it's not the best cable management in the world. I don't really care. You put the door on there, but you know what? Considering whenever I had the Apex, this was a disaster, complete disaster. It is much better. So let me know what you think on the Reef-Scape. It's been probably 30 minutes or so. The water's just starting to clear up, and I didn't clean the inside of the glass today, but I did it a couple days ago. I did clean the outside of the glass, but I'm not really sure about the torch coral. I'm not really sure about the brain coral. These have all been here for quite some time. 8 cans, and then the scolie, I've kind of got the scolie out of the direct light, and hopefully in some lower flow there. This anchinata, which doesn't look all that great to begin with, is down here. And then I've got just some random pieces. This right here was the base of this pedestal rock, and then these actually have Recordia mushrooms on them, so I just threw them in the back for right now. I don't know, it's different. I kind of like it. I do kind of like this piece here, but I don't know if I like it enough to keep it there full time. So I'm gonna sit down, stare at the tank for a little while, see what my overall thought process is. And I did pull all of the snail shells out of the tank, so the sand bed looks pretty decent at the moment. And of course, we got this coral back here, and I refuse to move it because it's always done well back there. But the sand bed looks pretty good, I must say. Did top off the ATO container. Haven't had any strange issues with the optical sensor on the Tunze yet, and I have not pulled it out to clean it. I do need to order more pinky pad because I do run that pretty much 100% of the time. I did clean that recently, the refugium, so I've left it alone for today. I was just wanting to get this done and kind of see how I felt about it. The good thing is I could put acros here, and I could put acros here, and they're directly underneath the Radion XR15. So I'm gonna sit back, relax a little bit, watch some football, wait for the wife and the oldest to get home, enjoy the time while the middle child and the baby are sleeping. Don't forget to check me out on Instagram at Pelfrey's Reef. It only takes like 2 seconds to sign up. Check out the website at pelfrey.net, and I'll catch you all on the next one.